How many of you did get one of the pens, though, with the invisible ink? How many of you did not get a pen with invisible ink? Okay, so over at the Canvas product tent that's right outside the conference center, we've got pens that have invisible ink over there. And they've got a little UV light so that you can, send secret messages to each other. But they don't explode. I hope you're not disappointed. This is where our home base is. This is in Salt Lake City, Utah, well, Cottonwood Heights. How many of you have been to our office? Anybody? Okay, nice. I want to get a feel for the room, though. So tell me again, how many of you have been to InstructureCon before? Okay. And how many of you are still like in shock that this is the best conference that you've ever been to? Yeah, right? Instructure knows how to do it. Okay. How many of you have been using Canvas for more than 3 years? Okay, I might not tell you anything that you don't already know then. So I'm just preparing you for that. I've got to set that bar right where it's supposed to be. Okay? And how many of you have been using Canvas for less than a year? Okay, this is going to be helpful for you. Hopefully I'll still be able to share something good with all of you, but if not, I'm sorry. Bar's down here. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about customer success. Now, how many of you were involved in the RFP process or the LMS selection committee, something like that, and you helped make the decision to go with Canvas? Okay, all right. Do I have anybody here who was actually the check signer, who signed the contract? No? Okay. I've got a couple of people. Okay, nice. Do I have anybody in here who found out, surprise, we're going to Canvas and you're going to make it work? Okay. So we know that happens. Well, I want to tell you a little story because when you sign a contract with Canvas, you're really not just signing a contract. You're signing adoption papers. Okay? For a whole team of people that I like to think of them as wayward children who are needy and insecure and want to make you successful and like them. I'm kidding, they're not needy and insecure, but they do want you to like them and they do want to make you successful. And these are those departments. So we have customer success managers who are there to support you. We have implementation consultants that will help you. We've got our amazing support team, our training team, the product engagement team, that's my team, professional services, the community, and also Canvas Network. And how many of you know about all of these departments? Have you heard of them before? Every single one of them. How many of you were like, oh, hey, there's a couple in there that I didn't know about? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to share some new things with you. And when I get to the product engagement team, that's when I'll tell my story because that's my team. So what do? Well, customer success is all about helping each customer succeed with all of our products: Canvas, Arc, Bridge, and Gauge. Most of you are probably familiar with 3 of those, and you might not be familiar with Bridge. Bridge is our corporate learning management system, and our team supports that as well. So as new products come out, I'll be adding more logos there, but this is what we're all about. Customer success is all about helping our customers succeed with our products. So your customer success manager, how many of you know who your customer success manager is? Nice. Okay, excellent. How many of you are like, no, I know we've got one, but somebody else deals with that person? Okay, and how many of you are like, I think we've got one, but I don't know? Okay, you have one. I'm telling you, you have one, for sure. So our customer success managers are people who are your advocates. And they are usually the first person that you have contact with after you sign the contract. There's a handoff from your regional director or your salesperson to this customer success manager. And they take care of you. They will work really hard to understand what your vision for teaching and learning is and understand how Canvas supports that vision. They want to work with you to define success so that at the end of a year, at the end of 2 years, we can come back to you with data and say, look, we were successful in accomplishing some of these goals. They also want to help you find solutions. So we know that Canvas on the hierarchy of instruction is just a tool. We know where we sit on that hierarchy. That first it begins with your beliefs about students and learning, then you've got your instructional practices, then you have your structures in place, and then finally you have tools to help you with those instructional practices. And we know that's where we sit on it. And our CSM, our customer success managers, want to help you use the tools to meet your instructional goals. We also want to help you with shared practices. So our customer success managers have a caseload of more than one person. You really are special to us, but they have more than one child, so they have to deal with a lot of different customers. But the benefit of that is that they have huge collective knowledge about what's working and what's not working in institutions that are similar to yours. So don't be afraid to ask your customer success manager, hey, are there other schools out there that are like ours? And what are they doing? Or are there customers out there that are doing things completely differently from how we are, and what can we learn from them? We can help you make those connections. And ultimately, I think one of the most important things that the customer success managers do for you is they understand the people side of change, because that's the hardest part, right? Canvas is the easy part. You get that up and running, you got your SIS connected to it, and everything's good, but how do I get that teacher who's 2 years away from retirement to use the product? Because why should I have to learn this, right? If I wait this out, it will go away. And how many of you used to be that person? You can admit it. It's okay if you admit that in here, that you used to be that person who would say, if I just wait this out, it'll go away. Okay, no, nobody's going to admit it. That's okay. You're all picturing somebody in your head right now, though, of who is saying that. And they probably even said those words. Or maybe I'll retire a year early because this is too big of a change for me. Right? Well, our customer success managers understand that, and they'll help you with some strategies to get those people on board and using the product. Then you have your implementation consultants. Now, the implementation consultant is typically with you during the initial technology setup of this move to Canvas. So you've purchased Canvas, you've signed a contract, you're introduced to your customer success manager, and then you meet an implementation consultant who is your technical support regarding getting systems integrated up and running. So they'll work hand in hand with the CSM during the initial stages. They'll help you with that SIS integration, maybe migrating courses from your legacy system, LTI setup, and more of those technical things. They do all the auto magic stuff, right? There's that auto magically things that happen in the middle between your system and Canvas. Yeah, believe it or not, I was hired to be an implementation consultant. I think I was hired for the comic relief, I kid you not. Like, it was, yeah, I was an okay implementation consultant. But the CSM will always have access to them. So if you think about you and the CSM become this amazing partnership, and the CSM will pull in resources as needed from all of those departments that I showed you. And the implementation consultant is one of them. So that implementation consultant comes in at first. They work with you on the technical pieces, and then they step out. But if something happens, you go to a new SIS, you decide to remap, or you want to rename the way that the courses are coming in from the SIS, they'll bring an implementation consultant back into the picture to work with you through that next round. Okay, so don't think that like one and done and we, wash our hands of it. We're here with you no matter how many times you want to make changes. And then we've got the community space. How many of you have checked out Canvas or community.canvaslms.com? All right, tell me, so what do you go there for? What are some of the things you research when you go to community? What do you do? Yes, sir? The answers. You look for the answers. The how-to, like how do I embed a video? Okay, right, and that's a great place to go because we have the video guides, we have the print guides. What else do you do in the community? Ideas. Do you share ideas and ask for ideas? Thank you. That's the answer that I wanted. The community is a collection of over 165,000 users. Okay, and these are people who are using Canvas on a day-to-day basis, and they're in there sharing ideas, asking for help. Again, I told you, ask your CSM if they know of any customers who are doing something similar to you or completely different from you. This is another great place where you can ask that yourself. You can get in there and say, hey, we're looking at rolling out a one-to-one Chromebook initiative with Canvas. What does that look like? And there will be people in the community who will share their stories with you. And we want you to share yours as well. So please get in there and share your ideas. You might have the perfect answer that somebody is looking for. And this is, Canvas is all about innovation and collaboration and sharing, and this is the place to do it, okay? I can't tell you how many times I talk to customers and they say, well, I really need to know how to do this. I want to do more project-based learning using Canvas. And I'll say, that's great, we can definitely support you in that, but project-based learning looks like so many different things. It's this huge concept. How do I break it down? And so we'll throw a question into the community, and within 48 hours, this school will have 15 different answers on how different schools are doing project-based learning with Canvas. So take advantage of that. There's groups that you can join. If you are a K-12 school, there's the K-12 group. If you're higher ed, you can join the higher ed group. If you're an instructional designer, we have the instructional designers group. So different groups for different things. We might even have a group that's specific for your state or for your community. And if we don't, and you want that so that you have a place to build that user group and that collaboration with your local schools, we'd be happy to set that up for you. You just need to ask your customer success manager about that. How many of you think something like that would be useful if you had a space that was just for either your institution or local, partnering neighboring schools? We even have a couple that are K-12 higher ed, like feeder school's not the right term, but you understand what I'm trying to say, like all the schools that feed in K through 16, thank you. It's Thursday, I haven't had enough caffeine. I might have been out a little late last night. Okay. Can we edit that part out? Okay. I don't know if my boss is going to watch this, but there we go. But the community is all about you. And it is 100, I'm not going to say 100%, but it's 95% customer driven. So we do have a team in our Salt Lake office that runs this, that facilitates things, that makes sure the documents are up to date. As soon as there's a new product release, they're releasing new guides, new video guides, new print guides. But ultimately, the majority of the contributions here are from people like you who are using Canvas. And we want to just continue to make this grow. Okay, next we have our support team. How many of you have used support? What was your experience? I'm just seeing lots of nodding, but yes, sir, back here. Thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, can anybody offer anything more than awesome? Efficient.
They're quick to respond, and if they don't have the answer, they get back to you like super.
Right?
It's like the best customer service I have ever experienced.
Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy to hear. Our support team is amazing. Yes. Right? So our support team is amazing. We have 24/7 around-the-clock coverage. And every single one of our support people are employees of Instructure. We don't contract that out. And I think that's really important for you to know, that we're not subcontracting with another call center. We house those people. We feed them every day with free food. We give them lots of soda, mostly Mountain Dew and Coke Zero. That's what they want. But they are amazing. And I've experienced support both as a customer and as an employee. And I've got to tell you, both times that I've really needed their help, they've come through for me. So as a customer, it was really easy for me to just jump on the phone and get that help that I needed. I was an admin as well as a teacher, so I needed help on both sides of that. But I want to tell you the story about when I was an employee. So I was on site visiting another school, and I didn't know how to, well, I thought I knew how to do something, but it wasn't working right. So I submit a support ticket, and the support person, the support agent, emails me back and says, hey, thanks for reaching out to us. I think we've got a solution for you. And they sent me the guide to how to do the thing that I wanted to do. And I read the guide thinking, okay, maybe I really did miss something. And no, I hadn't missed anything. So I sent back a message, hey, it's still not working. Obviously something is broken, right? It's broken, fix it, it's broken. And they sent it back to me, and I sent them the link to where I was having the trouble, and I was trying to embed something, and it just wasn't working right. So they sent me back another very kind, oh, we're so sorry, Mindy, that you're having trouble. And then it was 12:30 at night, and I was grumpy, and I may have had too much wine, and I turned into that person. Do you know who I'm talking about? Have you all dealt with that person? Yeah, I turned into her. And I might have even said the words, don't you know who I am? Because, yeah, like, Don't you know who I am? I'm director of product engagement. Don't you know who I am? Come on. They were so patient with me. They sent me back 3 videos showing me how to do something that I thought I was doing right. And every time I was simply forgetting to click this little checkbox. That's it. That's all I was doing wrong. They were so patient with me, and at least to my face, they never said, oh my gosh, that Mindy Hintze is crazy. Stay away from her. I did take them cookies the next week, but I think that that just goes to show the caliber of the people we have on our support team, because they never got frustrated with me. They never called their boss and said, go tell Mindy to knock it off, that she's being a brat, or worse. They simply treated me like I was any other customer, and they treated me with respect and kindness and compassion and empathy. They were amazing. So I want you to know, if they treat me like that as an internal person, imagine how much more compassionate they'll be with you as the customer. Just think about that, because they are amazing. I cannot speak highly enough about them. And they do have consistent satisfaction rates over 90%. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with CSAT scores, that's incredible. That is incredible for them to consistently have over 90% CSAT scores. We're talking, this is up there with Google, Amazon, other world-class customer service companies. Okay, and then we've got our training team. How many of you have taken advantage of training? Did you do the online subscription? I'm seeing some nodding. How many of you have had a trainer come out and do an on-site and work with you in person? Yeah? Okay, how have your experiences been with training? I'm seeing more thumbs up. This is what I love to see. This is so awesome. So everyone gets training available to them when they sign a contract. Now, how much training you get, you can pay, it might depend on how much more you're willing to pay for. But the Canvas training department is critical in your overall professional development plan. Let us do some of that heavy lifting for you on the buttonology, right? Click here to make this happen. How do I create a page? How do I put together a module? Let our people do that for you so that you can get into the weeds with your faculty and your teachers on the instructional practices, right? How do I give authentic assessment in Canvas? So we can teach you how to create a quiz, but you might need to follow up with that instructional practice or that pedagogy piece with your teachers saying, hey, this is why it's a good thing. This is why we should be doing this. This is why we've gone to some form of digital learning or blended learning in our institution. We can do custom training all day long. Now, if you want our trainers to come in and also help you with some of that pedagogy-infused training, we can do it. So many of our trainers are former educators, and so they speak that edu-talk. They can talk, they're well-versed in pedagogical practices, instructional practices, and they want to help you with that as well. So if you want to do a train-the-trainer model, something like that, we can bring a person out in person to work with. If you want to do a train-the-trainer, we can bring a person out in person. Words are so hard right now. We can send a trainer to you, and they can work with your key people who can then turn around and replicate that with other people. I just love our training team. They're amazing. And the subscription, if you haven't checked out the online courses that are available, they just released a few new courses. So there are sessions that you can take throughout the day, and they're offered at different times. So it's not like the intro to Canvas is going to always be Tuesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It might be Tuesday at 4 p.m. one week, and it might be Thursday at 9 a.m. another week. So you really can take advantage of those no matter what time zone you're in. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I've covered so far? Okay. Here we go, product engagement. This is my favorite slide to talk about because this is my team. So I am director of product engagement, and a little bit about me. I do come from a K-12 public education background. I was in education for about 20 years, and then crazy things happened, and I ended up at Canvas. It's really quite the story. If you want to hear that, find me tonight, and I'll share that story with you. But my team is all made up of former educators, and collectively we have about 100 years of education experience, not because we're old, but because there's a lot of us on the team. I've got a team of 5, and I see Mike's in the room. Is anybody else here, Mike, from our team? Okay, so this is Mike. Mike and I go way back. We taught together in Utah, different school districts, but I think you and I have the most experience with about 20 years each. And we've been everything from teachers to instructional coaches to technology directors to administrators. I was a state level technology integration specialist for a little bit, working with the Utah Education Network. So we've done this. We know what we're doing, and we've all used Canvas, both as teachers and as administrators. We've helped roll out Canvas around the world with many, many customers. So we're really good at helping people with that innovative and in-depth use. So we like to see people using Canvas, not just breadth of features, but depth of usage. And we want to see it integrated in the classroom in such a seamless way that it's as invisible as pen and paper, right? We want it to just be one more. Can you imagine if we still had to do professional development on how to get students to bring their pen and paper to school? Like, that would be ridiculous. But we want Canvas to be that invisible, that it's just part of the instructional practice. It's just part of the day. And we are always happy to help our CSMs with talking through creative solutions with customers, or even going on site and helping with resistant faculty, things like that. So our team is unique in the LMS space. This is different from other competitors. They don't have a team like this yet. I suspect many of them are trying to put one together quickly because we're different. And this is really unique that we all understand education, K-12 through higher ed, and we can help you with those unique solutions that you need, how to use the product. And we like talking, right? We all became teachers so we could hear ourselves talk. So please ask us to talk. Okay, that was a joke. Thank you, thank you. Okay, product engagement. And now professional services. How many of you have used Canvas in a way that maybe it wasn't intended to be used or nobody thought about using it that way? Yeah, tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
It's been quite a while, so I don't remember exactly what the topic was, but we actually do quite a bit outside of the scope of what Canvas does.
Sweet.
And our CSM, we've had 4 now, and we're sad when they leave.
Well, sure.
But they're absolutely wonderful in helping us work through the issues that we have in trying to get it to do what we want it to, and have been pretty successful across the board.
Great. Well, I would say 80% of the time, Canvas will do whatever you want it to do. I don't care how creative you are or how much you're thinking that, oh, we're different, we're a special snowflake, it won't possibly work for us. About 80% of the time, we can get the product as it is to work for you. If you'll just spend enough time talking with us about what your goal is and what the end result is that you want, we can find a way to make the product work for you. About 20% of the time, though, it might not do it. It just might not. And it could be because we don't see it as a core feature that would benefit everyone. It could also be that it's so far down on our roadmap that it just isn't there yet. It could also be it's something that we've just never thought of. And you might have an immediate need that needs to be solved really quickly, like yesterday. Well, we can help you if you've got some money, okay? I probably worded that really poorly, and the salespeople will come back to me and say, Mindy, could you please just work on spin a little bit? But ultimately, we can help you, right? And if you're looking at developing something yourself, and I know a lot of institutions have development teams, and they have those resources on site, but maybe you just need a little bit of help on how to get it to connect to Canvas, or how to get Canvas to do just this one little thing differently. We can combine resources and get it done. You can have us do it 100%, or we've got some partners that we can loop in as well. So this is for more on the technical side of it. If you need Canvas to function a little bit differently from what it currently is, we can help you. So I don't want you to think that if it doesn't do it now, it doesn't mean that we can't make it happen for you. We've developed lots of unique programs specifically for schools, and some of those end up becoming part of core Canvas. We realize, like, oh my gosh, this is something that everybody could benefit from. And so we partner with that institution to create something that will become part of core Canvas. Other times, it's something that is so unique that we don't even tell anybody else about it because somebody else will want to try to use it in a way that it wasn't developed for, and then they'll just get sad. So if you hear about something that another school has developed and you're like, why didn't somebody tell us about this? It's because we know that it was so unique and specific to that institution that it probably wouldn't work for anybody else without more tweaks, okay? So don't think we're holding back on you. Okay, and then we have Canvas Network. How many of you are familiar with Canvas Network? A couple people. Okay. Well, Canvas Network is they're open online courses that we've partnered with different colleges, universities, and organizations, and they are free. So think MOOCs, okay? Think MOOCs. Did anybody do the Walking Dead MOOC a few years ago? No. Hillary, is that one still available? No.
Monetary reasons, but we had 65,000 enrolled in the course. We've got a course right now with the Turner Classic Movies of Alfred Hitchcock, 17,000 enrolled in that.
Okay, so think about that. 17,000 students enrolled, or participants enrolled at the same time. So Canvas Network is about those MOOCs, massively open online courses. Massively, massive. Words are hard. Former English teacher. I'm cringing a little bit inside right now. Okay. But you could use these for professional development. You can use it just to get people using Canvas as a student. So you could use it in your own professional development to teach teachers how to use Canvas. Or you can use it just for fun. So we also have the educator catalog. And we have over 40 courses that are designed for educators, for professional development. And we have over 40,000 teachers enrolled right now in taking courses to improve their own practice. How cool is that? Okay, that's really cool. Like, I need to hear a woo woo. Thank you. Thank you. There's another really cool course, Designing and Teaching for Impact in Online Courses. And this one has got just a bunch of little snippets. If you're not a designer and you don't know HTML, that's cool. This one has got a bunch of code that you can just copy and paste. Is this the right course, Hillary? Or am I?
That's the other one.
Oh, that's this one.
Yes.
Enrich Your Canvas Skills.
And I have the handouts, flyers for you guys.
Excellent. So I'm glad that you're here, Hillary. Hillary is in charge of Canvas Network, so she's going to, if you want more information, she's over there. Okay. Lots of cool courses. Okay, so ultimately, customer success is a bunch of people that want to make you successful. How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel good? How many of you learned something today something that you didn't know before? Okay, who didn't learn anything? Is there anybody who didn't get anything out of this session? Okay, then I'm going to save that stuff till next time. I'm kidding. Okay, so lots of people who want to help you. Lots of people want to make you successful. And if you will let us help you, you won't fail. I'll tell you, just from experience, the schools that continually say to us, we have it, we got it, we don't need your help, we don't need to talk to you, just check in with us and make sure, we just want to talk about uptime and tickets. Those are not necessarily the schools that we see using the product to its fullest. They might be happy with their goals, and they might be happy with the way that the system is working for them right now, but where we really see customers get excited is when they let us collaborate with them, and they let us share what we know, and they share with us so that we can turn around and tell somebody else about the cool things that they're doing. So please talk to us, engage with us, ask us to even just hear about the cool things you're doing. If you're doing something and you want to brag about it, tell your customer success manager, I want to tell you about this cool thing, and share this good news of great things that are happening in your schools. So what do? We help each customer succeed with our products. And we want to help you just blow any of your goals out of the water. We really want to help you succeed, and I hope that that's evident. So now we've got time for question and answer. Any questions? One right here. Oh, she's going to bring you a microphone. Okay.
Hi there.
Hi.
We are currently using Tier 1 support, and we're actually doing some really unique stuff at our college. We're looking at contracting out with some schools internationally.
Nice.
We noticed you guys are growing internationally.
Yes.
Is there support for Tier 1 support in other languages besides English and Spanish to go along with that?
I want to say yes. But I don't know exactly which languages.
We're looking at, I think, German and Dutch, I want to say.
So Dutch, I think, is first on the list.
So right now we have Spanish support, and we are preparing for Portuguese.
Oh, okay.
And then once we have those locked down, then yes, Dutch and German are both on the roadmap,
Okay.
but yet not fully implemented as
Right.
Okay, so anticipated, but not yet. Not there yet. Perfect.
Not yet. Okay.
Thank you.
There you
I
go.
wanna
That's
make
the
sure
short
I got
answer.
that.
Not yet. Okay, another question, just a couple chairs behind you.
Mindy, I'm Ted.
Hi, Ted.
I owed you a slide and I didn't get it to you.
You didn't get it to me. Ted owed me Ted it works for Instructure, and he wants to tell you something. Come on up here. You got to come be in the spotlight. Nope.
I have to come up to the.
Yeah. Right here. Right here. Late to class, didn't turn in your homework. You're coming on up here. It's okay.
Okay.
It's good for you.
I'm Ted Boren. I'm on the product team. I work with the designers. I'm a UX researcher. And one team that Mindy didn't put up there because we don't report to the same structure, but we have many of the same goals, which is to make you successful and help you to feel heard, is our user research efforts. So we do interviews, we do usability testing, we do surveys, and a lot of other kinds of research activities to make sure that what we're building will support your specific needs. And so I'm going to be outside the door here. If you would like to participate in user research activities like that, then I'll just snap a picture of your badge, and we'll contact you in a few weeks.
Do it. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Did anybody see my present? Oh, we've got a question over here.
So,
I think she wants to bring you the microphone. That's her job.
so at my school, we're piloting Canvas this fall, and we're hoping to implement it over the next year. What's the best way to get started in community? I've looked around and I've seen some cool stuff, but it seems like there's a level of fluency that a lot of people have that I'm not quite there yet, but I know there's a ton of stuff in there. So what's the best way to get started?
Sure. So let me rephrase to make sure I'm understanding your question, that you're just getting started with Canvas. You're doing a pilot right now, but you want to go full big bang, get everybody using it maybe in a year. So you're wondering what are the best ways to get started with something with Canvas. So are you...
So during our getting our integrations and stuff going, like what's the best way of in the community?
Oh, in the community.
Yeah, because it seems like I get in there and there's like really
Right.
cool stuff, but I kind of don't even really know the questions to ask yet.
Sure, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And that's what we're here to help you with. So there's two places in the community that I would highly recommend that you look. One is the engagement strategies group, and then find another group that is that resonates with you, whether it's a K-12 group or a K-6 group, or I think we've got groups for like science teachers and things like that. The other thing that I would highly recommend that you do is reach out to your customer success manager and say, we need an in-depth tour of the community. So your CSM can walk you through how the community works, how to ask a question, how to find the answers, things like that. But it sounds like you just need a little PD on how to use the community space. Yeah. So I don't know if there will be time today, but we do have the Canvas product lounge that's outside the conference center, and there's people from community there right now, but we can always help you over the phone too. Any other questions? Yes. Oh, she's bringing the microphone.
Are the commons part of the community? Can I ask a commons question?
Yeah, of course you can ask a commons
Okay.
question. So commons is not necessarily part of the community. Commons is a learning object repository, and you can share things from your own institution to the world, or you can share it just to your institution. And then people who have shared their things with the world, everybody else can download those into their own Canvas instance. So community is a place to share and collaborate. Commons is a place to share. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I've used the commons.
Yes.
But I was in a commons session yesterday. I didn't get to ask my question in that session.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go.
The commons has now a way to do peer reviews or
Yes.
to ask for and receive peer commentaries.
Yes, which is
on-
a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Right.
I was wondering if there's a way to solicit private feedback.
That's a good question, and I'm not sure about that.
Non-public feedback, asking for, criticize my course, but I don't want the world to see that criticism.
We might have to combine the two sources and say, post a link to your course that's in Commons, post it in the community, and ask for private feedback.
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
know that there's a private way in Commons right now. I'm not sure, so I'm sorry about that. Okay. Any other question? Did you take a picture? Here. Okay, thanks. Hashtag cool. Okay, does anybody have any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Y'all have been fabulous. Thank you so much. A 3:30 session. Oh my gosh, thank you for being here.